I'm here in an apartment building in Kingstown, Virginia. It's called Manchester Lakes Senior Living, and people who are senior citizens live here. The problem is that there are many maintenance issues, and many people here have had no air conditioning this summer, and now they have no heat. And so I'm here in the apartment complex. You can see Marian Kowalski right here. She's 91. And her daughter, Christine Harris, called me, and this is Christine. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Christine. So tell me what the big problem right now is with this apartment.
With this apartment, the big problem is that we do not have heat, and it's not cold today, but it's coming.
Right.
And AC, we could actually maybe use a little today.
Now they had issues with the AC, and I've talked to other folks here who live here who have had no AC for the summer. There have been water leaks. 2 years ago, there was a rat infestation. So definitely maintenance issues, many maintenance issues. And a lot of the residents here are afraid to speak out because they're afraid of being evicted, right?
Yes, they are.
You live nearby, so you feel like people need to speak out, and you're kind of a protective force for your mom, but not everybody has children around.
Exactly. Which is why I really feel like this needs to get out there. There are many people I've talked with here who, don't have children or family or anything here to help and advocate for them.
Right.
And it has to be known.
Right. So right now, your mom has had air conditioning for the summer. After that was fixed,
It went out again, and that's when we got a window unit.
Right. You had issues in June, got it fixed, but when you got it fixed, the heat went out. But that was okay because it was summer.
Right.
And now the air conditioning's out again.
Yeah, it's been
out
for a couple months.
It's
Yeah.
been for a couple months. But you're also concerned, of course, because November's here and it's going to be getting cold. So show me the heating unit here. I want her to open this door up here so you can see. All right. So this is the heating unit and water heater.
Heating, AC, and water heater.
Yeah, and you can see all the mold developed right here, and none of this is working. None of it's working. We got water collected here. We think that's from the AC,
Honestly,
we don't really know, but
it's dripping from something.
It looks just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's causing lots of mold. And there have been some maintenance people who've come by.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of stories about how they've ordered parts. Parts have come in, and this is not just for this, but for toilets that break, and they order different parts, and then what's the problem?
And then we can't keep maintenance people. They are here at the most 2 weeks.
Tell me the story. You told me a story about a maintenance person coming at 10:30 at night.
Yeah, that's been common too. When we first had trouble with the AC, we had the maintenance person at the time came. He came to my mom's house at 10:30 at night.
And you said,
and I was just surprised. I said, "You must make good overtime in this place. A lot of things going on." And he said, "Oh, we don't get overtime." He said, "Maybe, and not usually. We might get to leave a little early on Friday, but considering all the issues that this complex has had, it just didn't happen." And then he was gone.
And then he was gone.
So
gone. It's just a revolving door of maintenance people.
Yes.
Who don't get overtime, who work obviously long hours, have a one man for the entire
for both buildings.
2 buildings, which with hundreds of people here. So it seems like an enormous amount of work that one person just can't keep up with.
Yeah, some maintenance problems are small and they can be fixed quickly, but a lot of them aren't. Like, I'm sure this is going to take some time.
Right.
And if you have one man and if someone comes here, he gets 4 or 5 phone calls while he's trying to repair this. For more repairs.
And you've seen the maintenance people just bombarded.
Sure.
Right.
Yes. As soon as they come into work, people are right there following him. If he's trying to have lunch, people are following him. It's.
So your mom moved in back in 2006, and everything was fine.
It was. Yeah, it's a nice place, and I moved her here because I live down the street. I can walk here, and it's great. It's beautiful. You can sit outside. It's just really nice.
Let me just turn it around here so you can see, because we're up on the fourth floor. Yeah, look how beautiful it is, right? So there's 2 buildings here, and this is the 3rd time I've been here doing stories about the issues in Manchester Lakes.
Right.
One time, as we were talking about, there was a rat infestation. Another time, water leaks. I've heard many complaints from residents here about the heat issues or lack of air conditioning, that there's no one to fix anything, and people are afraid to go on camera.
Yeah, they are.
And talk about this. Now, your mom is not pays. How much does she pay a month?
She pays $1,200 a month.
Right, but some folks pay less than that.
Yes.
It's part of a senior living discount, and JRK is the company that owns this and manages this, and that's a company out of California.
Right.
And I know you've looked online and looked at a lot of complaints that there've been.
Many. And I'm not talking about just this complex. All over the United States. It really surprised me how many negative reviews, just overwhelming. And I also looked on Consumer Reports last night, and apparently since 2015 there were 7 cases lodged against Manchester Lakes, and some were taken care of, but some were.
So when you've obviously been down to the management and you've asked how many times? Every day.
Really?
Right. Well,
really?
Your mom doesn't have heat. Or AC. No AC, and it's been warm.
Yeah.
Through October it was warm.
And right before that it was cold. It got down to 40 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is a community of elderly people.
Exactly.
62?
62 and over.
62 and over. Your mom is 91. We met a lady who's 100 years old. She's concerned. She has issues as well, water issues in her apartment.
Right, in her bathroom.
Yeah. Lots of people here do not want to publicize this because they are afraid. They don't want to speak out. They're afraid of being evicted. Where would they go?
Exactly.
So what do people do?
Well, honestly, a lot of people have moved from here. Folks that I used to see here all the time, and before they moved, they would say, it's unlivable. It gets to a point where you just can't.
You've called the county.
And, I've called the county, and I need to call them this afternoon. Codes and compliance. No heat and no air conditioning is against the law, literally. And it's not even that it's that. These are our senior citizens, and they can't manage the web of calls and what it takes.
Right. So you've tried to call JRK.
Oh, yes.
How many times?
Oh, numerous.
And what happens?
They have a tenant relations line. They tell you to leave your name and number, and I did, and you get, and not just me, other people here, no one calls back.
Never.
And last week, I spent one day, I made 57 phone calls to them one afternoon. No one ever answers, but you also get no phone calls back.
And you've talked to the manager here.
I've talked to the manager ad nauseum.
And what is their response?
Doesn't want to see me anymore, I know.
And you've talked to the manager about the air conditioning and the heat.
Sure.
And your mother also had a toilet running problem, but you didn't want to. You wanted the heat.
I didn't add to that.
First.
Yes.
You need heat and air conditioning.
But that was resolved.
That was finally resolved.
The toilet did before the maintenance man was fired 2 days ago. That got repaired.
What do you think that's about? The maintenance people getting fired or not being able to keep maintenance people?
Too much work, and honestly they're not reimbursed for what they do. They're bombarded with work because now it's gotten to the point where the issues have grown. This wasn't an issue until now. Not having the heat AC fixed has caused water damage. At one point it was leaking down to the first floor, and now we have mold. So if maintenance is not kept up, things continue to go wrong.
Yeah, and they get worse. It costs more money.
And it costs more money.
So you would think they would want to keep up with it.
Exactly. And we shouldn't have to beg for things that are included in the lease.
In your lease, $1,200 a month, your mother's paying, and she's
you.
not getting heat and air conditioning. Things are lagging.
Exactly. No one here is asking for anything extraordinary.
Right.
Nothing out of the realm of possibility. What anyone who lives in an apartment gets. But here it is impossible to get.
Do you think the county should get involved?
I think that it being at 62 and over, the elderly live here. I feel like that's abuse of the elderly because they're not as strong. They can't fight as hard. They get tired. They have issues just getting around. A lot of them.
Well, and some people are on I believe.
Oxygen
subsidies, government. Well, they're on subsidies. They're on rent control.
Yes,
they pay less.
Right.
And as I understand it, JRK has some sort of deal with the county to own and manage this place.
I believe that's correct. I believe so. Yeah. There are some people who are vouchered to live here, and they pay a lesser amount based on, you know, your earnings, and, which we don't have. We just,
Right. But it is a private facility.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to show you a nice picture of Marion here, because thank you so much for letting us come in. She's a pistol. She can't hear anymore, but she can talk a lot. She's been telling me about the problems here and how concerned she is about it getting cold, and about how hot it was when, without the air conditioning. And we appreciate you letting us here to talk. Thank you, and I hope we can help get things resolved for you and everybody else. Jesus, sweet. Anyway, she's totally with it. She just can't hear, which is fine. But I appreciate her letting us in and talking to us. And Christine Harris, her daughter here, really trying to make sure that you can help these people, not just for your mom,
Not
right?
just for my
because
mom.
you're here for her to fight
Yeah.
for her, but not everybody has.
That's exactly right.
A child here to get things going.
I had no idea it was this rampant until it started with Mom. Now I know. Now I feel like I have to continue for other people.
Well, thanks very much.
Thank
and
you.
We're doing a story, and it'll be on WUSA 9 tonight, and we'll hope to see you guys there.
Thank you. What are you picking on there, Mom? Is it falling apart?
Okay, if I can just get it to stop.